Hey everyone, my name is Aaron Fulk. I'm the Director of College Counseling at the University School of Nashville. And today, as part of this DTA series, I thought it'd be fun to talk through a little bit of query formula using a filter formula in Excel or Google Sheets, but then most importantly, how to create a simple drop-down box using data validation. So just to show you an idea of like what this looks like for us, I don't love using just like an average number of applications submitted. I don't think that single number always tells the full story of what's happening. I'd rather kind of show a distribution chart. So if I use the current year or last year's graduating class, 11 students submitted one application, 11 students submitted two applications, and then we add all the way over to like five students submit 16, and then one 17, 18, 19, 21, and so on, the really precocious go-getters. But I like to have drop downs here so then other constituents that had a high school board members, they can play around with things and have it be interactive, right? So that's what the class of 2021 looks like, the class of 2020, and etc. So let's take a look at how to do this. The first thing we'll do is just go to score to export the data you want. For almost everything we try to do, we just use applications and outcomes just to get the data out of score. So go to filter, pick the years you want, or 2019, hit apply, and then download CSV here. I like to do everything in Sheets because I'm not very sophisticated and I think it's just cleaner. And this is what it spits it out as, right? I've just deleted the two columns that have students' names in it, keep things anonymous. But this is exactly what you should be seeing. I renamed right here that sheet raw data just to help me keep track of it. So then if we open up a new sheet, we can play around a little bit. In this first cell, I'm going to use that query formula I mentioned. So what this is looking at here, query, it's pulling data from the raw data sheet. So this sheet here, I'm selecting A and B, meaning it's pulling the first two columns from that sheet. And then one is just a true false formula. And then I made it unique. So I put unique in front of query. So it's only pulling each individual unique student ID. So you can use that exact formula if you want. You might have to toy around with select AB with other columns, but then this is what you should get. What this is, right, is theoretically every student, their unique student ID, and then what their graduating class year was. At USN, we have approximately 100 seniors in every class. So if I have 5 years on here, there should be around 500 IDs. And sure enough, there's 494. So at least I know the query formula worked. In the C column, this is where we're going to count how many applications each individual student submitted. To do that, we're just going to use a really simple count if formula. So this is again counting if in the raw data spreadsheet in column A, if it matches A2, this cell here, then it counts it. So that means that this student graduating 2023 submitted 8 applications. And again, we can double check this. We should go back, excuse me, to the sheet. There's that student. And sure enough, that student submitted 8 applications. So we know that formula is working. So I can drag this down to all the cells. Hopefully Greg Murray is going to edit in some really great background music here. Some good hip hop or indie rock. Maybe some good emo stuff, Greg. To the rest of the columns. And there we go. So this student submitted 15 apps, this student submitted 15, this student submitted 2, and so on. So this is all the data we need to do what we want. Here is where we'll insert our drop down. So you just click insert and then drop down. And then this is the cell where you want the drop down, G1. Make sure you check drop down from a range. And then we're going to use column B, meaning we're only going to use values that appear in this column for this drop down. If you click done, you can see these are the class years in that data set, right? So we know that that works, 2022. And then in this cell, we use a very simple filter formula. This is filtering column C for when B equals G1, meaning when 2022 is selected, it's only pulling this number for that year. So that means we had one student submit one application all the way down, these number of students submitted two applications, and so on. And that's it. That's all we need. And so then we can click this. We can insert a chart. I'm going to want a column chart. I'm going to have to play around with this. Is that what I want? No. It's like, this is great. I need to create a different data range. It's not what I want. Okay, sorry. In the x-axis, I just put the series, which is H, the column H, H1 to H494, and then I click aggregate. This is what we have, right? So we have 11 students who submitted one app, 11 students submitted one, so on. Again, it's this year's class, the class before, etc. And then you can play around in editing the chart to different colors, all sorts of that. But that's how you get using data validation for something like this. So again, learned about query formula. There's a lot that query can do if you spend time, especially as you move along in your skills and sheets in Excel. A simple filter and count if formula, and then creating a dropdown using data validation that then helps you do really cool stuff like this. I hope that was helpful.